You were in Weapons, and holy shit, what a movie, right?
Yeah, when I read the script like this, twisting and turning, and then I get to the end, I was like, wow.
Welcome to Real Appreciation, the podcast where we explore the people behind the projects and the gratitude that powers them. I am David Claire Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And today we are so very excited to be sitting across from an actor who has been seen in projects like The Walking Dead, and most recently the amazing, and I stress so much here, amazing movie, Weapons.
Not to mention, he is also a twin who began his career alongside his twin brother as a model for Tommy Hilfiger.
So without further ado, please welcome to the show, the one, the only Jason Turner.
Wow. I don't know what to say after that. Was an amazing introduction. Thank you for that.
Let's just get into it here. You were in Weapons, and holy shit, what a movie, right?
Yeah, when I read the script, it was like this, twisting and turning, and then I get to the end, and then there's this whole thing that happens that you don't really understand until you understand it. So when we actually did it, it was surprisingly amazing to me because I was like, wow, I was blown away to see it come together. It's one thing to read it, it's another thing to see it come together.
What were your thoughts on Aunt Gladys?
Aunt Gladys was really strange because I have to be honest, I didn't know where it was going up until close to the end. And Aunt Gladys was one of those characters that I don't even know how Zach Cregger thought of that. I mean, when you really see, without saying what happens, you really see what kind of transpired. I was like, wow, I didn't see it coming. I don't think very many people saw that coming. So she was an amazing character, very creepy also.
Totally agree. And I just want to ask, how does it feel to be a part of the #1 movie in the world?
So I got to be honest, that kind of thing, when that happens, it kind of happens out of nowhere. So when you're doing it, I was just really blown away to be in the room with Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Benedict Wong, and they're all just regular actors. So for it to become the #1 movie, that was like, icing on the cake. I'm not a big fan of watching, my work necessarily, because I'm kind of classically trained in a way where you do it, you own it, it's out there, and now you're moving on to something else. So this is very new for me to have this kind of reception for the film that, I'm a part in. And it's a great feeling, to be honest. It's a great feeling.
From one actor, from one actress to all of us here, we are very proud of you for getting there and making it to the very top like that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely, man. How was it getting the opportunity to work with Zach Cregger?
Well, so, you're actors, so the audition process. This is funny. This is funny because the part that I actually got, I was working on something else. And so what happened was there was an audition that came through for another part in the film, and I didn't know who Zach Cregger was. And so I told my reps, I'm just going to pass on that. I'm not going to even audition. And I didn't. And so like I said, I was working on something else, and the casting director was like, "Hey, we really want to see you. Let's do this. Please just audition for this." And so I was like, "All right, whatever." And I auditioned for it and I got it. And then I found out who was attached and all of that. And because I'm not necessarily privy to that kind of information, at that point. So for me, it was just, yeah, another audition thing, whatever. But it turned out to be a great experience. And Zach Cregger is one of these directors. He's very efficient. I think he preps everything before he actually starts filming. So it just kind of rolls really seamlessly. But that whole process it almost didn't happen. It's basically what I'm getting down to because I was like, I'm doing this series. I'm not thinking about that. That's actually what happened. And then, so to get it was, oh, wow. And then to see what it turned out to be, I was like, wow, Guess the moral to the story is always say yes.
So to switch topics for a bit, can you tell us about your time on The Walking Dead and any memories you have from your time on the show?
Yeah, well, The Walking Dead, that wasn't my greatest time, to be honest, because it wasn't that long. And then they were already a well-oiled machine by the time I'd gotten there. So it was kind of like, business as usual, in and out. They were very receptive. It was a great set. People were great. But to be honest, the best experience I've ever had on a set was that poster behind me over here, Women of the Movement. that one was it was one of those jobs where you feel lucky to be doing what you're doing. And it was a great story. The showrunner, Marissa Jo Sarar, was, she was just this incredible human person, not director. She was a human person first. So she was taking care of everyone. It was during COVID, so we were all kind of relegated to this bubble, so to speak, and we all got really close. And those were some of the most generous actors and actresses that I've ever been around. And the story, of course, it was about the Emmett Till situation with his mom. So it was this very serious, heavy content, and these creatives, we all came together to tell this amazing story. And that was one of up to this point, that was my that was my best experience on a set because everybody was just so giving and so caring, and it was just great. I mean, I wish you could mimic that every time, but it doesn't happen that way. But that was. But The Walking Dead was great. Those veteran actors there, they were all just as receptive. Um, they made the guest people come in and feel welcome and at home. So it was a great experience. But the one that really just took me aback was the Women of the Movement. That was amazing set.
That's amazing. And something that is also amazing is, and I say amazing because not many people can truly relate to it, is the fact that you're also a twin brother. So talk to us about what it's like being a twin.
Well, that's funny because people ask me that all the time. And my retort is, well, I don't really know what it's like not to be a twin. But because for me and him, we really have been working in this industry since we were really young together. We don't do the same things all the time anymore. But very recently we've been the thing. We did an episode of Chicago Med where we were conjoined, and that was, I think, I don't know, 6.5 million people saw that. So that kind of pushes up this ladder a bit, and then we just did a very, very probably our biggest job up to date. Is a film, and I think I can say it because it's on the Internet Movie Database, so I can say it. We did a film with Will Ferrell and Nicholas Stoller's new film called Judgment Day, and they featured the twins. Now that was very interesting because what happened was there was, Jimmy Tatro and Zach Efron, all these people, Bill Camp, they had these roles already set. They come to Atlanta, so now they start casting these other parts. There was no role for twins in it. It was just Mason and Paisley. Those are the characters. So I auditioned for one, he auditioned for the other, and the casting director, for whatever reason, had the foresight to say, "Hey, would you be interested in auditioning together?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And so she said, "Well, Nick wants to see you put an improv scene and see what happens." And I was like, "You want us to do our own scene for an audition?" Okay. And as they say, the rest is history. We turned a no opportunity to a month-long gig. So it was very that was, but we worked so well off one another. It was just a matter of time before we got to show that. And we did it with the Chicago Med. That was serious. This is all comedic. I'm kind of excited for this one because this is actually, up to this point, it's the biggest job we've ever done, even as twins, individually or collectively, it's the biggest one. So I'm not sure when that's coming out. It's in post-production, but like I said, it is on IMDb. So I didn't spill any tea here. So
let's go back real quick. You played conjoined twins with your brother.
Yeah. I think so it was this past season. And the funny thing about that is some people thought we were really conjoined, because the FSX people, they did a great job. It was hard to tell, honestly, but people that know us know we're not conjoined. But when you see it, when you see how it all plays out, it was exceptional. The way, and so they had to create these body doubles of us. They put the full cast on for the surgery, and you couldn't tell. He and I took pictures next to our dummies, and that was really strange because it was looked like I was looking at him, but he was standing there. But yeah, we got to play, and that was another big thing because they had a nationwide, I think, search for that, and uh, I was told that there was no interest in any other twins except for my brother and I, and so that was what that said to me was we've been together working so long that the chemistry that we have, it's, I guess, undeniable, I guess. And so I remember Ed Orgeron, the director, was like, you have a relationship that I don't have to try and create, on camera. You just have it. So we're just going to put you in front of the camera and let you be twins. And ultimately that's what happened, which we don't get to do often. So it's a great thing, because usually we're competing because we're identical, we're in the same category. So we have to deal with that. And we've been dealing with that for our whole careers, except these last few times here. So it's great to work with my twin.
That's so amazing, man. So, Jason, something we are so big here on Real Appreciation is the importance of our mental health and providing good, positive energy, vibes, and thoughts into our everyday life. So, with that being said, my friend, something Maria and I do every day when we wake and before we go to bed is we say 3 things that we're grateful for. So, I want to ask you, what are the 3 things in your life you're grateful for right now, Jason?
The 3 things I'm most grateful for in my life. Well, it's my wife, of course. She's been here from the beginning, before I was ever a working actor, so supporting me the whole time. I have 2 wonderful sons, a daughter, my kids, wife, kids, and my health. Because without that, you have nothing, I don't think, So those are the things that I'm most grateful for right now.
That's beautiful. And well, we just wanted to say that this was such an amazing experience sitting down with you here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you all again for having me. I'm thrilled. I'm honored. I don't know, you guys doing great stuff here, so I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
And I'm thrilled that you were here. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your brother. I'm excited for your careers from one actor to another. I'm very proud of you. And we all say that collectively.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Where can people find you online on social media?
Well, the official Jason Turner is my Instagram. I'm not, I go back and forth with this, with the social media, and I'm not going to fight it anymore. People in this day and age, that's what it is. But the official Jason Turner on Instagram is where you can find me. And I think I'm going to have to become more active in the social media world because that's just what it is. But you're actors, I'm an actor. I'm kind of in that world of technology, and I'm kind of there. But you got to find your way through to all of that and kind of find a balance. So the official Jason Turner on Instagram is where you can find me.
You heard it from the man himself, the official Jason Turner on Instagram. And with that being said, I am David Claire Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And he is Jason Turner, and you've been watching and or listening to Real Appreciation. Make sure to subscribe and like for more exclusive interviews just like this one.
Until the next episode.
Protect your mental health.
Because each of you matters so very much.
Thank you so much, Jason. It means a lot.
Thank you all. Have a blessed day.